Welcome to Mi Escuela es su escuela, My School is Your School, connecting Montgomery College with the community. I am Gloria Bonilla. Today, my guests are Karla Silvestre, the Director of Community Engagement at Montgomery College, and Nestor Alvarenga, the Latino American Community Liaison for the Office of Community Engagement in Montgomery County. Welcome again to Mi Escuela es su escuela.
Thank you, Gloria.
You're very welcome. I'm glad to see you again. So let me start with you, Karla. Montgomery College is opening some community centers. Could you tell us why and if the college is doing this alone?
Yes, as a part of our strategy to be more present in the community, even more present, because as you know, we have classes and programs all over the county. We're opening 2 centers, one at the Gaithersburg Library and one at the East County Regional Center, which is around Briggs Cheney and 29. And this is in partnership with the county. Nestor is our key partner in Gaithersburg, and Jaru Bandeh, the director of the Regional Center in East County, is our key partner there. So yes, we're opening these 2 centers and in these 2 locations.
Now, let me ask you too, how are these centers, why the locations, how were the locations selected?
We did an analysis of socioeconomic levels and educational levels throughout the county and found that these 2 areas, Gaithersburg and East County, had the lowest levels of residents with bachelor's degrees. And so the idea is to be in these centers so that people will start to get excited about continuing their education, right, if maybe they started and didn't finish. Yes. Mm-hmm. Be able to talk to people about how to get back into the college, or learn about maybe the first time that they're having a first experience with a higher education, talking to a counselor, taking a class at our center so that then they can get connected with other higher ed opportunities.
This is fantastic to addressing the needs that are already in the community, and now that everybody's talking about and finally addressing what is called the closing the achievement gap. I think the timing is perfect for this. Now, Nestor, Karla mentioned that you are part of these new great programs in the community. So your component is you're based in one of the centers, is the Gaithersburg?
Right, that's correct. So I am based at my office is based at the Gaithersburg Library in the Gilchrist Center suite that we have on the 2nd floor. So that's where the partnership comes in with Montgomery College, and we're really excited, and we just can't wait to get started. We actually started with a program right now with computer classes, but you know, just all of the programs and services that Montgomery College can offer to the community up county, we're just really excited.
How many people can these centers accommodate? If the number of people, how many classrooms are there? Classrooms, what is the setup with the centers?
Right, so it is classroom setup. So the average 25 students per classroom, and then so that is kind of like the layout that we want. And then the fall semester, we're looking at different classes, perhaps 3 to 5 classes, somewhere around there. So so we can cater exactly to the needs of what the community wants there.
There's also a computer lab.
And the computer lab, yes.
2 classrooms and a computer lab, but also just opportunities to do workshops. So sometimes you don't need to take a class. You just want to sit in on how to explore careers workshop or how to pay for college workshop. So I think that will allow us to reach a lot more people than just the classes themselves.
And I think it occurs to me that obviously having these centers, you're going to hear from the community what they would like to learn more about. And the workshops are specifically for that. You can bring people, guests and people, experts as much as they're needed.
Yeah, during the registration, as Nestor mentioned, we just did a pilot computer class just to figure out the nuts and bolts of registering and using that lab, having our MC instructors use that lab. And as a part of the registration process, it was really exciting to see the interest that there is. I set up my little table with Montgomery College tablecloth, and people just wanted to find out what was happening and really excited about hearing what opportunities were coming down the line at the library.
This is great news.
Lots of questions. You know, I want to become an accountant. What do I have? Do you have an accounting program? What can I do? My wife needs to learn to use the computer. Can she sign up for your class? And so lots and lots of opportunities to get connected for the residents of Gaithersburg.
And as Karla just mentioned, people come to me all the time when I'm there at the office, and it's like, how do I do this? How do I get connected to that? I want to continue my education. I want some career advice, counseling, school counseling. So, you know, it's a perfect match.
As you know, sometimes people get intimidated with the thought of coming on campus,
right.
coming to the campus and college, and so it's a accessible way to ask your question that maybe you've been wondering about, been meaning to research online. But hey, there's somebody here, so why not?
Yeah. Well, this is great news. Now, the classes, when are the classes be offered? These are during the day, evenings, weekends, or what is the schedule? It probably is going to change the schedule depending on what you hear from people attending the centers or coming to the centers.
Exactly. So it's, as you just said, it's going to be catered to what the demand is in that area and the times that works for that community. So it's completely going to be flexible, and those are the things that we're now working on. First, the classes that we're going to offer, obviously computer lab, the computer classes are staying, but then what else, right? And the times that works best. If it's weekends, Saturdays afternoon, Saturday mornings. So those are the things that we're working on now.
Good.
So with the experience that the Gilchrist Center brings to this partnership, they have seen over the years that weekday mornings, weekday evenings, and weekends are, of course, very, very popular times, because if you have a night job, the morning is when you have time to take a class. And if you work during the day, then obviously the evening is when you have time. And then Saturdays and Sundays, of course, is also for people that work traditional hours. So you have to really be flexible and give lots of opportunities for people to be able to fit into one of those slots.
So now, are those what you offering? The two centers are offering all these classes to the public. Are these classes free? Is there any fee, any cost associated with the classes?
There is a small fee, really just a symbolic save your seat kind of thing. We've found over the years that if people
have an
need to
investment,
commit, a little bit of a commitment, but they are extremely, extremely low cost.
Good, so those are affordable. And Nestor, you referred a few minutes ago about how people have the interest in education and learning something, and they find someone. And I think it's we all who work in a community know that the minute they find someone who can guide them, they see you. It is, and you become a magnet. And I think it is to a point that you're working all the time. They know you're coming, and they see you, have to catch you, and then because you're going to help me with what I want to do. So the centers are already up and running. They started working. They're already offering classes, right?
Well, the Gaithersburg Library.
The Gaithersburg Library, the Gilchrist Center, yes, when it opened in January. And we're there, and so we've been having classes, computer classes, English classes, financial literacy, and as Karla mentioned, workshops is very important, not just like the setup of a classroom too, but different events. And totally, I mean, people are, once you're the go-to person, you're just pretty much, it's a
you
word
become
of mouth.
very popular.
You become very popular,
yes.
And yes.
And the phones start to ring, and everybody gives your name and phone number, and they say, call these individuals because they're going to help you out. And I think that is is something fantastic to have someone that they can trust, that they can call. Because I think more so when you want to help the immigrant population, they may be limited English proficient, and the other is they feel a little bit timid, they're shy. Not everybody is outgoing and and they're busy. So whatever we can do to help them is just an incredible thing to do.
And the reason why Gaithersburg is up and running already, as Nestor mentioned, is that the Gilchrist Center, the county government's center to help residents get connected to community resources, has been starting classes there since the library reopened in January.
Right.
Reopen,
Yeah.
That's the word.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So,
Reopen. Yeah.
So they've been, you know, using their resources to offer classes, and that's why we're able to, you know, jump right into something that's already running.
I also see the partnership with the county and also with the libraries a great match, because I think the libraries are a great resource. It's a wealth of resource and knowledge there, and many times our communities don't know that they're free and it's open, that you don't need to pay for anything there. There is so much that you can learn when you go to the office. And I think in terms of exposing children, families and children to the libraries is a great way to put them in the right track. You know, something you want to learn about is right there. If you don't have access to, say, the equipment, the computers or a printer, you can go to a public library and you can use them there. So it is a great match, I think. Now, when the East County Regional Center, when is the other center going to start running?
In the fall. Yeah, so we're doing an open house for Gaithersburg August 5th. And so if folks want to come see us, we'll have information about the college in general and some information about what classes will be offered there in the fall. And then we'll schedule a open house for East County as well, probably in September. So people that can be kind of our kickoff for the work at the East County.
Good, so we're going to have to do a lot of communication, making the public aware that this is happening. So the college is going to be doing quite a bit of work. Montgomery College is going to be teaching classes, is going to be doing workshops at the centers.
Yes, we'll have the Educational Opportunity Center staff there with office hours to be able to talk to the public. Anyone that's interested in higher education, any kind of higher ed, you know, credit, non-credit certificate programs, they're able to talk one-on-one with residents about what options are there, what makes sense, what are the hot careers that they could be getting into.
And that is also, the Educational Opportunity Centers is a free assistance that is offered to everyone in the county, in Montgomery County. If you want to apply for admission, you want to apply for financial aid, if you also need to be evaluate, you know, what is it what you would like to study, have a test. They have a test that can help you determine what is it you want to study. You know, sometimes high school students, your interests are, and so the students say, I really don't know what is it that I want to study, and so they have that test. Perfect. So you are hiring staff.
They're hired.
They're hired.
They're already hired. So they're hired. So they're on board already.
They're on board. The team is set up.
Yes, and my understanding is that staff you're hiring is also bilingual.
Multilingual.
Multilingual.
Yes.
Multilingual. So what are the languages? That's great. Yes.
So for Gaithersburg, we have, as you know, Up County is a very unique, it represents the county overall, right? In the sense that it's a mix of everything. We have different backgrounds. So obviously Spanish is a big population, but then you also have Korean, Asian in general, Indian, Persian. So it's a really interesting. Some Ethiopian, large Ethiopian community that's growing, but I think that's more in Silver Spring area.
Yes,
but Up County, that's pretty much the mix that you see. So,
but the staff that we've hired speak Spanish, of course, French, Amharic, Swahili.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think a little Portuguese as well. So we got to get some Korean in there in the future. We'll see how we can get maybe some Montgomery College students to.
Would like to
diversify.
Volunteer. That's the other
interesting.
component that I think is the centers will allow many of the students to fulfill their community service requirements too. You know, and the Office of Volunteer Office at the different campuses can also help you. You know, with some of the students.
That's good idea.
I wanted to mention if people want to start coming to see us at Gaithersburg, we're in the second floor. So just keep that in mind, because they might come looking for us at the main floor of the library, but actually the Gilchrist Center suite is in the second floor of the Gaithersburg Library, and that's where our staff will be as well.
And I presume that, and I'm sure that if they come to the main desk at the library, then somebody can guide them as to where to find
Right,
them.
and the library, I mean, this is why we're talking about partnerships. I mean, they're super great and good partners. They send people upstairs, because sometimes when you come into the library, you're like, okay, where is the Gilchrist? But, and they guide people up. Sometimes they bring the people up to us, you know, so it's a very good quality service that people up county are getting.
And in East County, we'll be at the front desk, so you won't miss us, because we'll
Much
open
better.
the door,
There you
and
go.
then our staff will be at the front desk, mostly evenings and weekends, again, because that's the key times. And if people are not familiar where the East County Regional Center is, really it's, you know, 29, get off at Briggs Cheney Road. There's a bunch of car dealerships, and the East County Center is right across the street from the East County Recreation Center. So.
Right.
Go there, but know that we're going to be at the regional center, so don't get confused about that.
Well, you know, the interesting thing, and for all of us who work in the community, we know that if one learns about something good, then they also start directing others, and they also give instructions as to what buses to take, you know, how you can get there. Because I mean, I am amazed how resilient and resourceful the population can be, you know, finding their way. So they only need know where Nestor Alvarenga and Karla Silvestre or Gloria Bonilla are, and they're always said, you know, just call this person.
Yeah.
I know they're going to help you. And the one thing that I always tell viewers or listeners to call, I always remind them to please, when they call, if we provide phone numbers, is to leave a phone number where we can call them back.
Yeah.
Because many times what happens is that they call me and they say, please call me back. And I'm like frustrated, because I'm thinking, how can I call you back? You didn't leave your phone number. And I think they assume that with the new technology, we all have this, you know,
caller ID.
IDs or these new cell numbers, telephone numbers or telephone, that the number is right there. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I feel so bad. Yeah. And so
very important.
How can people get in touch? How they can learn more about the centers? Is there a number to call?
Sure. For the Gilchrist Center, we have 240-777-4960. That's the Gilchrist Center.
Okay. At the Gaithersburg Library.
At the Gaithersburg Library. No phone yet for the East County?
Still working on that.
You're still working on that, but it will come. It's coming. It's on its way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's also, you're going to have this posted somewhere. If the people can find in the future, you know, the community centers, I think there is something that is going to be, it's all new, brand new. I think it's very exciting. I think for the college to have these new centers and have a presence in the community, because I think the college can only do so much. You know, we tried and we invite people to come and to visit us. I think it's always nice to see the facilities, the campus, different campuses, and the satellite offices that the college have. But many times, people would prefer to go somewhere that is a little bit closer, and the centers are offering that. So, tell me, you were going to say something,
yes,
Karla.
I think it's important to note that you know, people shouldn't expect that they're going to do an entire career at the centers, right? These are just places to get your first taste of what the college has to offer. But we, as you know, we offer so many different classes and programs. I tell people, for everybody in Montgomery County, there is something, from youth to seniors to English language learners to professionals that want to retrain, recareer. And so an important role of the center is to help people get connected with the other campuses and the other locations where they're offering all of these fantastic programs.
Yes, it is. Having a presence in the community is important. With some of these trainings that you had for the new staff coming on board or who were recently hired, I think is the one thing that one of the persons giving the training said, that the college has these classes, English classes, they're free, and they're offered in different schools, public schools in the county. And many times the community doesn't know that there are these free opportunities they're closer to you. But it's like you said, Karla, it's a great way for people to be exposed and to start thinking. If they're thinking, but they for some reason said, well, I don't think I can do it, this is a very good way for them to say, this is my starting point.
That's a starting point. That's a good way to put it. I mean, because the library, people come in all the time, all the Gilchrist Center, people are familiar with the center. And then you have Montgomery College there, so it's a great combination for people just to start. You know, sometimes the hardest part is to get started, right? So once people are there and they're in the door, the rest is.
You're right on target, and I think it's. I hear from people in the community who call me and said, you know, I've been thinking about doing this for the past 10 years. And I'm thinking, oh, well, don't wait anymore. Don't think anymore, right?
Yeah.
And I think, please don't continue thinking, because it's going to be another 10 years. And I don't want to hear from you in another 10 years, provided that I'm still around, right? So, but it is true. It happens to all of us. And I think it's, in the case of the adult students, is that we tend to put our families first. And we know with many of our members in the community that come from outside the United States, is that, you know, they say, well, we first had to get prioritize things, and one is that we had to provide for our children. And I think we always said, you know, I'm going to do it eventually after my children and all that.
And I think what you mentioned is what we're trying to replicate. So people know you work for Montgomery College, so they will engage you in that conversation of, oh yeah, I've been thinking about going back to school, or you know, I saw a neighbor, and she said, you know, I've been thinking of studying to become a realtor. I said, great, you know, we offer that. And so the idea is to get more and more people in the neighborhoods, in their social networks, so that they are engaging their neighbors, their people in their communities about Montgomery College and the opportunities. And so if we have time, we could talk also about our college ambassadors or promoters program.
The education's promoters.
Yes.
Yes. Well, this is something that I tried and tested about 2 years ago, and the idea came from, this is a model that's been used a lot outside in development, outside the United States, and using members of the community to move the community forward. And if you remember, you know, the insider, when you're trying to do a project or a program, you had to get the insiders to help you with the program and to hire, you know, to get everybody else excited. And the community educators are ones, either they're members of the community who want to study at the college. And what I did, and with the help of the college and the foundation, was to offer one class scholarship. And by doing that, the person who got the scholarship then gave us back time to promote education in their communities. And it's been a great experience.
Wow.
And there are adults who said, you know, I don't have money to pay for an English class at the college. So it was like a one-class scholarship, and the money was specifically used for what they wanted to do, to attain, you know, to learn English, or to learn to be a mechanic, or to learn whatever they want to learn. So the one scholarship was used specifically for that. And we're going to try it again. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, I mean, we tend to learn from our peers, right? So it's
Definitely.
kind of a peer outreach strategy. So we have some young people, but we also have some older folks. So we want to be able, you know,
include everybody.
Yes.
And I think we're all mentors. I think we're all our mentors. And many times we think we're not, and we do. We're constantly teaching. We're learning, and we're teaching constantly all the time. All the time. So, can we give a phone number again in case somebody would like to call you? The center.
The center, 240-777-4960.
And of course, always for Montgomery College, if they just have a general question, of course, they can call the 5000 number, which
the
is
response center at the college. 240-567-5000. And for individuals who want assistance in Spanish, they can press 2, and that will direct them to someone who can assist them in Spanish. And also the other side of the college that is very helpful to the community is the workforce development and continuing education. And I think in your case, a good number of persons coming to the centers may fall in that category of education that they want to attain, and that is the 567-5188, and you go to option 3, and somebody's going to assist them. That is the customer service number, so call them. And if you need help in Spanish, just say the Spanish, please, or Español, por favor, and they're going to transfer your call to someone who speaks Spanish. Yes. Those are the main numbers, and we're going to post them, with this after this is aired, then those numbers, we're going to post them so people will know where to call. Well, something else you would like to add? And what we missed, because I know it's only 30 minutes in the air, and it's always happened to me that we talk and have plenty to cover, and the time goes by quickly.
Well, one thing we did mention was the Engagement Center staff will also do community events.
Fantastic.
In those particularly in those regions. So we also want to get out of our building and go where people are gathered to talk. Again, just finding opportunities to talk to people about Montgomery College and the many, many resources that are here. So if you have an event coming up that you'd like the college to be at, we can talk about, participating in that event.
Very good.
Yep.
And the piece that I think is very important is that we always do this. We're always connecting with people. We're always engaging with people. And we, I think, as a community, constantly are crossing paths with other people. And I think if we use the time to promote something, having groups of study for many reasons, why not call like a meeting in your home? And I was thinking just now, as you were saying, what other things can the community engagement specialists can do?
Like a Tupperware party.
Exactly. I was just thinking the same thing. Well, and we have a great collaborators at the college. We have little goodies, giveaways, that if anybody's interested and said, I would like to host a little community engagement party or community education, give it some name, and then I'm sure the community engagement specialists will come in and share what they, all the programs and resources that the college have to offer.
That is great. I mean, it's easier for 1 or 2 people to go to where 50 people are than having 50 people come into.
In terms of transportation?
In terms of transportation, or overall in general. So I think that this component of the community events is a key component as well.
And I think it's when also families bring their children. So I see education as something that is not specifically for one person, but I do, obviously, mi escuela es escuela, my focus has been the adults and the parents. So the adults get the information, the tools, and they will help the children. But not that I don't want to include the children into, but I'm thinking education it should be a priority for all of us.
For
and
everyone.
yes, it's like anything else.
I wanted to give kudos to the county for partnering with the college on this effort, because really, if we were in it alone, we wouldn't be able to do as much at the library. And likewise, the county, if they were in it alone, they wouldn't be able to stay open as long and so forth. So by combining resources, we're able to, be able to serve the public for longer periods of time, and just, see how we can help each other rather than everybody kind of working in their silo. We have a similar mission. They want to help residents get connected to resources. We want to help them get connected to educational opportunities. So it really makes sense. And of course, the library is our host and major partner as well.
Fantastic. I think its partnerships are something that we need to focus more. You put in resources and efforts together, we can achieve incredible things together. So thank you so very much for coming and responding to my call, and coming and share your what you're doing with the community. Thank you so much, Karla. We're working at the college, Karla and I, and Nestor is one of our previous students at the Montgomery College. So, and both have been guests with me, Escuela es Escuela. Thank you so very much. It's been a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much. Well, community, time is almost out. We're almost out of time. And please just remember the following number. If you need assistance with anything at the college, just call the number 240-567-5000 and press 2 if you need information in Spanish. And the main number also for the Workforce Development and Continuing Education program is 240-567-5188. Go to option 3. And if you need assistance with financial aid, it's 240-567-5100. It's been a pleasure. This is Gloria Bonilla. Until next time, thank you.